Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a ranked game in my gearing. Going over the matchmaking. Got an enemy Montana, Yamato Kremlin, I gotta get used to that. Wooster, Henry, Gearing, Haragumo. The map is Greece, and it being ranked game on this battle, or on this map, it is 3-cap domination. And gonna talk a bit about
Battle starts.
just contesting cap in this kind of meta. Now this isn't a CV match, which makes it easier. Uh, but I see a lot of destroyers when they get in this situation, they get useless and they basically get just stuck in behind the island and they can't really do anything. I was actually hoping to go C to B, but my team tells me they want somebody to try to take A, so that's what I'm going to try to do. Uh, it's looking like I'm not going to have much in the way of support here, and that's going to change. It's going to control the tempo of how aggressive that I think I can be for this. So I'm pushing up here. Again, this is my Ovechkin captain. That's where the extra HP is. I'm just checking RPF out, seeing kind of where it's at, and just want to play kind of slow and um, controlled right now. We got the Henry coming in here, and this is actually a really good spot because this guy, if he could have rushed in here, he could have caused all sorts of difficulties for us with basically a lot of Henrys are running Hydro these days, and you know, basically being stuck in here with a Henry, not the most ideal thing, especially in a gearing where I don't even have Hydro. Now, that's a misplay drifting out of cap like that. Shouldn't have done it. Especially because the Wooster's spotted. But I'm just gonna dip back in, and if you look, I'm not too confident about this flank right now. We've got 4 capital ships pushing in versus 3 of mine plus me behind the island here. And I'm a little sketchy if we're going to be able to hold this with our Moskva doing things like turning broadside. Now I do land a torpedo hit on that Yamato. That tells me that the gearing's here. Why he wasn't in the cap earlier, I don't know, but now this is one of the fundamental differences of what I'm doing versus what they're doing. I know the radar is not here, so if you look, I'm cheating back here, and I'm trying to spot everything back in here. Actually, finally getting spotting damage right now, so. And I'm just checking. RPF is pointed at the gearing, so this is another use for RPF here. As long as RPF isn't coming close to this end of the island, I'm okay to sit out here and spot these guys. Just throwing some Make-A-Wish torpedoes out there. Maybe I get lucky, maybe I don't. I think gearing might be edging back this way a bit. Yep, RPF switches. I'm getting ready to fight with the gearing right here. And I see the gearing shoot. I think that was the gearing that shot right there. So again, this is just a slow development right here. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stall this out. And and basically provide vision for my team. Now, my Moskva, again, doing some questionable stuff. Now, I'm looking over here, and I'm going to start looking at this Kremlin. So my team picks up the kill on the Henry, and I've been noticing I'm not really getting much in the way of spotting damage out here, so I'm gonna start shifting into a more aggressive mode. This Kremlin, he's only got a limited number of damage controls, so I'm gonna start putting pressure on this guy. There's a double fire. I disengage. Want that guy to try to blow one of his few damage cons. Yamato's up, gonna start, shelling him, and you kind of see how different it is aside from just sitting back behind this island. You saw I did it initially, and then once once the enemy had basically decided that they're not gonna rush me, I start switching into, my team's not really shooting what I'm spotting at. I'm starting to switch into a more active damage dealing role. Now I think the gearing might be coming out. There he is. Switch into AP.
Torpedoes to port.
Was able to disengage, get behind the smoke, and now I can use this smoke against him for a little bit and get some extra damage in on this guy. Check, make sure the Kremlin is not pushing me. Just throw some random torpedoes out here. Maybe this Kremlin starts pushing in. Just circling back around. See the shot from the gearing here. And that right there tells me that we really hammered that gearing hard. So here, gonna use the gearing smoke against this Kremlin. This was a misplay for the gearing to leave this smoke here for me. He never should have pushed up there like that. But it happens. So I'm just gonna keep working on this guy, and just want to keep the pressure up. I'm plane spotted. I should pop AA, but I'm not. That's another misplay. But again, just trying to distract this guy. He's been looking hard at cross shots across the map. He starts looking at me. I'm just gonna smoke up. Kremlin accuracy. Trying to spread these fires out all over the ship. Honestly, with the short damage control, it might actually be better to use AP in that situation just for the extra raw damage. Couple different schools of thought there. Now, the Kremlin turned in, so I'm gonna do something that's a little bit risky, but can pay big dividends. And I'm gonna play peekaboo. And this is all timing. I'm already going forward. I see he's starting to turn out. I lead him. Disengage. He's shot.
Our victory is in sight.
I know he's dead.
Battleship destroyed.
That's a dead battleship. Now I see the RPF shift. Their gearing's coming out to play. Now I'm sticking with AP. This gearing's been giving me a lot of broadside, so I wanna see if I can use that AP to basically win. I'm a little down on HP compared to their gearing, or it's showing we're roughly equal here, but I think in actuality he's got a little bit more HP than I do. There he is. He popped up broadside, and the AP was a good choice. Just disengaging. I guess he thought that I was gonna not that I was gonna turn in immediately, and you know, just not gonna. Now this Yamato, obviously he knows I'm here. He's popping. I think he just popped his plane. But right here, I am trying to bait this guy into doing his torpedo evasion. That's what he's doing right now. He's changing direction right now on the expectation that I've just dumped torps on the indicator. And I'm just being patient. I see he's started to commit. And I bail out of here. And I'm trying to stay outside of 2 kilometers so I don't get proxied. And that's the end of the Yamato.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
Now, you'll notice I really worked this corner hard. 154,000 damage, all pretty much right in this area, right in here. Just working this corner of the cap. And just because you're contesting cap doesn't mean that you can't inflict upon the enemy. Ships like Gearing that have, slow it down a little bit because this game's gonna end soon. Ships with like Gearing that have high arcing shells, Daring's another one. You really have an advantage to use island cover and things like that to work these positions really hard. And you know, don't just assume that because you're camping an island, you know, or contesting cap or something like that, that you can't, you know, really stick it to the enemy. So that is the intent for this game. I'm going to go on ahead, speed it up, and let it play out. If you got any questions or comments, leave them below. I hope you guys are having a good day. I'll talk